Also, Amanda says that her program is being tasked to grow, but no additional headcount. So
That is common as well. I think I've seen that as well.
Yeah, we're definitely in an interesting time, and we're in an ever-evolving environment, the corporate environment as a whole, and not just briefing programs, but the industry, technology, and all programs. We're in an interesting time with the current economic crisis, coming back from the pandemic, and figuring out what that looks like in terms of, do people come to site? Are people working remotely? What does that look like? So there's a lot of churn and a lot of ambiguity and a lot of anxiety going on along in this industry right now. And to Amanda's point in the chat, companies are asking teams to do more with less. We're seeing decreased budgets. We're seeing reduced headcounts. We're seeing no backfills for headcounts who have left by choice, or those who, we've seen a lot of WFRs happen across industries in the recent years. So we're really seeing that companies in general are asking us to do more with less, and with that comes the ability of, taking on additional responsibilities that you might not have had, having to pivot your role, combining organizations, as Stacy mentioned earlier in the recap. So what we're seeing in the briefing program world too, and this customer program extension, is that there's a lot of consolidation of programs, a merging of customer programs to be part of the same organization. A lot of customer programs have the same, value prop. They want to interact with customers. They want to engage the business. They want to increase revenue, so on and so forth. So we're seeing a lot of those programs who have similar value props coming together under one organization. I can give an example at Dell Technologies. Our global executive briefing program is now under the same leadership as our North America field experiential team. So we're seeing that at Dell. At Google, the executive briefing program has the customer advisory boards, the exec sponsor team, the customer communities, and the voice of the customer team, all under the same organization. And then for those of you who were not able to attend last week's up-level session with Verizon, Verizon is also experiencing this. And they had a great discussion about how they're managing the breadth of their responsibilities of their programs. So if you weren't able to attend that, I know the recording is coming soon, so be sure to check that out as well, because that's a perfect use case for exactly what we're seeing in the industry these days. But on top of that, in the combining of organizations, we're also seeing a lot more evolution of employees' day-to-day roles and responsibilities. To that point of doing more with less, we'd like to think with reduction in budget and headcount that we're going to do less with less. But let's be honest, that's not how it works in corporate environments. So we're going to be asked to take on more. We're going to be asked to shift our responsibilities around. And that just comes with the environment. And so how do we navigate that? And so, I'll tell you a little bit about my journey, because I've definitely experienced that throughout my time. And hopefully, you guys can take some nuggets of inspiration or learnings from me. And so I can start by diving into, as Stacy mentioned, I've been at Dell for 7 years. 2 of those years I was in a marketing rotation program. So I changed jobs every year before landing in my full-time role at the executive briefing program. And so when I started at Dell and, coming out of college, I really had this notion that I wanted to be in social media digital marketing. That's what I wanted to do. You couldn't change my mind. And that is as far from what happened as I can imagine being. So it really goes to show you that those opportunities that are unplanned might be the ones that push you towards the most growth and make the most impact on your life. So, when I was in my second rotation, I got assigned to the executive briefing program. I knew nothing about executive briefing programs up until then. And I wasn't the most excited off the bat, just because I was gung-ho for social media. So I was like, okay, this is going to be different, but we're going to go in it with an open mind. And boy, was I wrong that this was not what I wanted to do, because fast forward 5 years and here I am today. And I really do believe that it's in those opportunities, the ones that you might not be looking for, where the most growth happens. And that is entirely as to what happened with my career journey. So it was within the executive briefing program that I truly found my place. I was able to try areas that I didn't know that I liked or would be good at. My manager likes to say that, I didn't want to be a reporting person, but I'm very good at it and I found I like it. So, it's in the things that you didn't think you would like that you try, that can be, the best thing that ever happened to you, and you find things out about yourself. Um, within the EVP too, to this day, to the point of evolution of employees' roles, my role has changed multiple times in my time alone in the executive briefing program. And I truly believe that it's the opportunities and saying yes to things that scare you, or saying yes to things that maybe you're not the most excited, and excited is not the right word, but like ready for, that can change you and help you overcome obstacles and push you to being a stronger professional. And so, for my career growth, opportunities led to where I am today. My marketing development program brought me to the EVP. That role led me to mentors like Bonnie Bryce and Kelly DeRoche, who really showed me what it's like to be a program manager and develop those skills of, building frameworks, looking at strategy, process automation, things like that, that I didn't have being focused on digital and social media marketing. And then those mentors became sponsors that helped me grow within the executive briefing program to every next level that I took. So over the course of the 5 years that I've been with the briefing program, I've been an entry-level project manager. I've been a program manager. I've been a strategic program manager, focusing more on the strategy and the forward thinking. And I've been a team lead to the global discussion leader bureau. So you can see, even in the same role, my scope has changed and evolved, and it's all due to taking advantage of the opportunities that are in front of you and saying yes to things that might not be the norm or what you thought you wanted for yourself, and exploring what you're good at, what you might not have known you're good at. And so, that's not to say that this wasn't without its challenges. I definitely had to quickly overcome a fast-paced briefing environment. I was somewhat of a perfectionist, so I would never want to show anyone anything until it was completely perfect. And that is just not going to fly in this industry. So I definitely had to learn to be comfortable with ambiguity, to move quickly and do multiple things at once. But once I was kind of thrown into that and put my feet to the fire, I was able to develop those program management skills, those strategic thinking skills, those framework building skills that I wouldn't have had the evolution of my career in the executive briefing program happened. So long story short, my takeaways from my career and my progression is that, say yes to the things that scare you. Don't have your mind closed to opportunities. I wouldn't have thought that this is where my career would be today, but I am so happy with the way it turned out. And, things happen for a reason. And then the second portion is related to kind of the career development piece, and that is emulate your peers. Everyone has peers, and everyone's peers do something better than them. That's just the nature of it. Everyone has their strong suit. So if you can tap into your network and tap into your peers and your colleagues who do something really well, and learn 1% or 2% to better yourself from what they do, then that's going to help you continue to develop your career moving forward. And that's definitely what I've tried to do through my mentors and my peers, and what I hope to continue to do moving forward.